Jumanji.
I don't know about you guys, but I've been catching up on a lot of movies while in lockdown, and because of that, us folks at the Collection Chamber thought we'd dedicate the month of May to movie-based games. I finally got around to watching Jumanji: The Next Level, a second sequel far better than it had any right to be. I have fond memories of the original movie back in the mid-90s, so the nostalgia rising in me thought it would be a good idea to give the aging PC game a quick replay. Jumanji, a jungle adventure game pack from Philips Interactive, is a series of mini-games sold with the express purpose of promoting the original 1995 movie. Though they did a poor job of that, considering the game came out in 1997, missing the movie's release date by a few months. As that's all it's intended to do, the content isn't particularly deep. There are 5 mini-games and a selection of heavily dithered video clips, and that's about it.
A raging monsoon is flooding the house and washing everything into a whirlpool.
The first game, titled MONSOON LAGOON, sees an approximation of Alan, the character Robin Williams plays, as he jumps over some floating furniture in their flooded family home. The aim is to get to the chandelier at the end, but I never saw it, let alone reached it. You have 2 dots in front of your main character to signal your 2 jumping distances, using control for a short jump or space for a long jump. The furniture floating around is randomly placed, meaning that you may not have anywhere to go. As such, it's entirely broken.
Van Pelt is a ruthless big game hunter, and Alan is his prey.
The next game, titled Wild Hunter, is a little better, but not by much.
Oh no. Van Pelt.
Here you control Sarah in a gallery shooter. You have to spit out some rotten fruit and aim it at running animals as they pass by, with the aim to eventually hit the big game hunter Van Pelt. The problem is that it takes about 2 seconds for your projectile to reach its target, making it very hard to actually hit anything. Add to that a mass load of pixelated foliage getting in the way, and you won't be as confident of hitting anything, even if you have the timing down. I actually managed to see the 3 stages this time, through sheer luck or will, but after the 3rd stage it cycles back to the beginning anyway. There isn't really an end to any of these games, it's just a struggle for a high score. So let's move on to the next one.
A band of Jumanji monkeys is redecorating the kitchen. How fast can Peter dodge pots and pans and catch Aunt Nora's fine china?
In Monkey Mission, you play as one of the 2 children, Peter, and he has to capture some monkeys that are tearing up the kitchen. You do this by dodging pots and pans, catching fine china, and throwing some bananas and coconuts at the monkey. Once you've done that, you can then carry the monkey over to the fridge, place him in there, and do the whole thing again. While a bit more complex and interesting than the first 2 mini-games, the controls are shocking. You can slowly duck and jump, but if you want to reach a higher level, such as the counter or the shelves, you'd have to hold control at the same time. It does make it a little bit more enjoyable than the first 2, but that's not saying much.
The house is overrun by legions of gigantic Jumanji mosquitoes, bats, and spiders. Poor Judy. She's all alone in the dark attic where giant spiders dangle and creep toward her.
The easiest game to understand and play is Judy's minigame called Tiny Bites. Here you will whack bats and mosquitoes by flailing a tennis racket at them into the webbing of some giant spiders. This will slow their path on their way to you. Like every game, you will occasionally see a pair of die making its way down the playfield. These will increase your health, though you won't need it here. This one is pretty easy and straightforward. It's telling that this is the only game where I didn't die, but I still eagerly quit out of it after about 5 minutes.
The Jumanji jungle welcomes you, with poisonous vines and spiders too. Jumanji gems these creatures fear. A well-thrown gem makes them disappear.
The last game is by far the best, but again, that's not really saying that much. It is a maze game, a little bit more complex than Pac-Man, where you will have to collect some gems, which will act as your ammo, and follow the commands of certain totems. There are some creeping vines which block your path, and spiders which come out of holes, but you can easily dodge them if you plan ahead. You can jump over these holes or the base of the vines by pressing the control button, but be careful not to jump into them as you will lose a life. Again, it's not exactly the best, but considering what else is on this package, I'll take all I can get. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I feel like playing a crappy licensed time waster, and Jumanji is certainly that. If you fancy giving it a try yourself, head on to the link below where you can see how to play it on Windows 10. Remember to like, share, subscribe and ring that little bell thingy, and I'll see you next time on the Collection Chamber.